Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza Horizon 4. Today, going to be playing around with the course creator. Yes, that is finally here. I've been very much looking forward to being able to build my own circuits on this game. I've had all sorts of various ideas, and now, well, we can finally make them a reality. This is, well, going to be the start line for an event. I might build a couple today. We'll kind of see how things go. I want to use the beach because the truth is there's some really cool sand dunes. There's a really cool sandy area that one cross-country race that sort of uses it. Nothing really goes over here though, so we're going to have a try. Now, unfortunately, I can't put my own custom start line. As much as I would love to, I can't. So you have to use one that is a start line that's in the game originally. Now, I'm hoping that this one here is going to work. It's going to start where I want it to. You'll see what I mean in a second. So we're going to create a route. Now, in creating a route, you will be driving around in your vehicle. I'm going to be using the new Civic Global Rallycross car because it's not something I've really played around with too much. And hell, if we're going to be exploring off-road, this is probably the kind of vehicle to be having. Now, this is where the race starts. Can I go... Ooh, it's going to be very narrow. So, the start line is fixed. I think that where the nameplate bit is, or the floating part is where the back of the grid is, the start line is up here. Now, I don't want to spend time on tarmac. I'm building this as a rally stage, and I only really have one option in terms of getting off-road as quickly as possible, and that would be to follow this little path. I was hoping when I was looking at the area that this would be doable, and it does look like it is. Now, when it comes to placing checkpoints, you can place them wherever you like. They don't have to be on the road, and interestingly, they don't have to be particularly wide either. Autocross? Well, that's probably going to be something that'll come in the near future. Use the triggers to narrow or widen the checkpoint, the analog stick to move it based on wherever your car is stopped. So we're going to be a little bit mean, and we're going to immediately have the vehicles coming off-road. Now, to try and stop, I say try and stop corner cutting. Ultimately, if I use this course for anything, it might become a time trial series in which it won't necessarily matter if, well, I won't be cheating my own course, if you like. So then it's all good. We come out of there, and if we then blast our way up onto, I'm thinking we come up onto this, what is technically a path. Now, we want to have this. You can actually have really wide checkpoints if you so wish. For me, we're still going to leave it as a little bit of a narrow checkpoint. So that is our start line. Now, what way are we going to loop around here? You can just kind of go for a drive and go for a 1D. See, I'm wondering how narrow is it? See, I don't really want big, wide open areas as such. We want it to be a little bit more technical. There are bits of this that are very technical. I mean, I could come down this way. What is over this part? I mean, it's just kind of loose sand dunes almost at the moment. I'm not sure about this area. It's a little bit too wide for my... almost for my liking. Now, I think... I'll rewind, because I think it draws essentially where you're going. Now, I don't know, probably should have experimented before starting filming. I don't know if I then place a checkpoint in a different way, if it's still expecting you to go the way you've gone. So, rewinding will get rid of... well, I'm going to have to hope that it doesn't expect us to go this way then. Right, so we go checkpoint, checkpoint. Is that the first wide one? Yes, I think that's the first one, wide one back there. I mean, actually, to be fair, that could be quite of an interesting little turn that we have going on there. So we come in... Where are we coming in? We're coming in through here. Do we... I'm the mind of a track creator. Do we then try and force the cars around... Okay, I've got an idea. It's kind of easier building like this in some ways than when you're building stuff on GTA 5, not going to lie. Of course, it's not as... You've not got as much to play around with, but there is... yeah, there's a surprising... I think there's a surprising amount of freedom. I'm glad. I was worried it was going to like force you to build on the roads and so on. Little bit of a shame that we can't create our own start lines, if you like. A little bit of a shame on that one. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to now be careful with my checkpointing to make sure that it's kind of on the sort of you can go for an apex. Right, so we're going to have a little nasty sort of loop around there. And then... do we... yeah, let's go and run down... let's go and run down here. We'll give the cars a little bit of an acceleration zone down this bit. This is going to be... we've done quite a few sort of high-speed rally stuff in the past. This is going to be a very, very different sort of rally event if I decide to use this course, because it is very, very narrow. It is very, very narrow, very technical, more about acceleration. I don't know how ride height might affect cars in that. This is why I'm building stuff out here, basically, because it doesn't really get used. The sand is, you know, it's thick sand that it's got to deal with here, which is not something that you really deal with anywhere else in the game. The terrain deformation is cool and everything, but it doesn't actually get... well, it doesn't actually affect the vehicles, and it's not really almost made the most of, in that, yeah, they don't tend to have that much running out here. I think we're going to loop into this car park. I don't know whether vehicles, because in free roam cars can sometimes spawn around here, so I don't know whether if you set it up as a race, like parked cars, I mean, can spawn. Ooh, that's a little bit of a lopsided one, because my car is... do I have to... I wanted it to be in line with... oh, the fence is a little lopsided, that's probably why. It might have to do with being lopsided slightly. Right, so that can go in there. We will race our way down here, and then I want to have us turning this way, but I want to make sure that we've got vehicles taking the corner properly, so that will go there. Alright, okay, I'm just having a look at the map behind us as we go, making sure that it looks nice and technical, nice and nasty, which is, you know, what we're after. Could do another up and down, but I don't really... no, we're going to go with... time to vacate the area via a very narrow little part. This is where it's going to get more technical, which is good. We're going to say get a little technical. Going to get narrower, shall we say? So then we're going to run up this bit. It'll be a little bit of an acceleration zone, a very brief bit of an acceleration zone down there. Now we might just try to think of best way again. Thinking of best ways of using all of this area. We might get away with. Don't know how close it's going to let us place checkpoints. Might get away with... oh, not taking out that. Preferably. If we stick checkpoint up here, and then... I mean, if you were doing time trial there, you could potentially cheese that slightly. I would move it if I was going to be, you know, making it a... I guess as a public race almost. Oh no, we have to go a little bit further from that last checkpoint. This might be a bit difficult. Right, so we can place a checkpoint in here. And then we will... there was one over there. It might have despawned it. We might have to test. Then we're going to come... I was trying to be a little bit clever with all of these checkpoints, but I'm not sure it really likes me being a little bit clever with all the checkpoints. But we're going to scoot our way around here. And then we're going to run onto this, I guess, back straight. It's going to be one of the main kind of acceleration zones here. And then if we make that there, we will head our way back onto the beach, perhaps. Seems like a fun enough little idea. I can't actually move that any... okay, I can't... can't move that other side further because of the sand dunes. Probably have to be a little bit careful with... if you're going cross-country races, I presume there might be sort of restrictions on what stuff is going to be doing. I'm thinking we have one down here, so you've got to get basically you've got to get to the end of the. What are that? I did geography. I should know, but I can't remember. I think it's to do with stopping sand moving around on beaches, something along those lines. We've had another checkpoint up here. Might have moved actually a little bit far forward there. So it does place the checkpoint. Let's place the checkpoint in relation to the car, kind of in the middle of the car, maybe. I don't know. We'll place that there. We'll find a gear. Then we will head up this narrow little path through there. Perfect. And now we're coming towards the end of our little stage. Coming towards the end of our little route. I'm trying to make sure to place these again to stop any sort of corner cutting that might be doable. Now, how do we want to finish it off? We could finish it off with a big jump into the castle. That could be quite fun, actually. If we were to run down this part. I think we're gonna have to go. Gonna have to go this way, and then out the other side. Hold on, got a plan. So, got to run down this particular part. I'll make sure I put a checkpoint over here. Just again, so there's no jumping across the sand dunes. Run down here. If we were to then send the cars through the very, very narrow section here, we could then have them loop back around up this way, and then it is literally just an accelerate towards the castle. The only thing that the rally stage doesn't have, which I might like one to have, is a water splash. I could, I guess, run it out to the ocean, but I don't really see the necessity on that one. And then we have a big, I guess it'll be kind of maybe water around the place. Big jump up to the castle, and then we will have another checkpoint in here, if I can fit one, which we can. Perfect. There, and a finish line can be, I guess there's a little bit of tarmac to finish, but you know, not exactly important. And the finish line can be here. So we go route options, place finish line. There we go. Needs test drive the route. Now, as much as I had hoped for there to be a way of, you know, like time trialing your own stages, time trialing your own stuff, there does not appear to be. Will be against the AI. Now, it is quite easy to trick the AI, I'm not going to lie. It is quite easy to confuse the AI. I'm really hoping this course won't, and again, for time trialing purposes, if I was to do it, I would part myself up. Let's say, have this as my start line, maybe use the sand as the kind of start of the race. Wait until the minute mark. It's a little bit of a faff, I know, but you wait until the minute mark, you let the AIs go do their thing. Hopefully they don't stumble into one another too much, because, you know, they probably will, let's be honest, and then we will set off. For the purposes of this, if we catch up to them, doesn't really matter, we'll just go now. So this would be our first little bit. It's going to be a fairly frantic rally stage. It is perhaps a little bit more open than some in terms of, yeah, in terms of ultimate track width. That's a really nasty hairpin. I like it though. I like it a lot at full racing speed. Like, it's easy enough. I say it's easy enough. But when you sort of are there driving around, placing the checkpoints at, you know, I guess fairly low speeds, you don't quite appreciate how technical this is going to be when you get hold of a car. God, and then try and attack it at racing speeds. The AIs are doing okay on here. We'll run a little wide through there. Might be a lot more throwing a car around in the sand, I'm not going to lie. Might be a little bit more in the terms of, yeah, throwing a vehicle around. Oh, there, I spy an oncoming AI car. So that bit there has worked as I wanted it to. Good. It's very narrow down here in the rally car, and up the other side, along the fence, we've found the tracks from the AI vehicles. Yeah, we're really grabbing, we are really grabbing the handbrake. I like it though so far. I'm liking the rally stage. This is our big acceleration zone. We are going to have to, I think there's a few of these corners where we are going to have to be jumping on the brakes. Like before we even see where we're going, before we even see the turn that we are aiming for, we're going to be slowing down. We have a big slide onto the beach. We go, get that. I mean, we'll clobber the post behind it, but don't worry too much about that one. Oh, careful, hey, in the distance. Look at that. Look at the RS200s go. It's quite an impressive flight from all of them. Have the brakes down here. Just got to bounce our way between the dunes. This is where it gets very narrow. I don't know if I'm not so sure. I don't know if there's a better way. It's not really, I guess. If you looped it back up there, you might struggle with momentum for the jump. Although the cars, if we're building S1 class cars, you're going to be probably hitting those pretty fast. And there we go. That is a run through through the stage and stopped. I like it. I like it. I'm just going to call it Fail Race Sand Rally. I would like to create a custom event. Yes, please. So really, I'm pleased with that course. I'm pleased. It is not high speed. It is not high speed in the slightest around there, but that's what I like very much about it. Shall we go? Anything goes. I'm going to set it up as an S1 class because I'm going to try racing. Again, this probably won't work so well with... You know what, let's go see what it's like in winter. Time of day, late afternoon, clear. Let's go and create a blueprint just for a bit of fun. And we will get... I didn't actually set it to a class, never mind then. It doesn't matter too much. Because I wanted to get out my... I know it's super fast. The Viper. Built as a S1 class rally car in a rally car build stream that I did. This was the Victor. It won by I say considerable margin. A decent sized margin. It was damn quick. So, when we come to tackle the snowy beach, we know this should be pretty good. It will be interesting to see what it does about the ride height. As I said, the thick sand might be a sort of playing field leveler for, well, supercars, essentially, around here. They'll have a tougher time. I've seen, certainly when running high speeds on the sand, when you get into the thick sand, you suddenly go an awful lot slower. There is a transit. I'm not sure what the AI are going to make of the transit running around here. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. We're gonna go just straight from the off and see what the AI do. See how the AI manage their racing around this very narrow circuit. I mean, the transit is leading the way. Everyone's actually done a pretty good job so far. I will give you that. Well done, AIs, for mostly behaving yourself. Viper, pretty good. Viper is pretty good. Transit will lead the way. I'm trying to go around the outside. Not going to happen through there. We're going to skimmy around the outside of there. Another one. Nope. Can't. Transit's got some go about it. I'll give it that for an S1 class. Don't know what engine the AI would have put in it. We will get the pass completed there. Now we head flat out up here. Grab a handbrake a little bit. I don't know whether it's going to be faster or not around this course, to be fair. Whether to be kind of smooth. You get a lot of understeer through some of this thick sand, or it feels like you do in comparison. I'm going to try and avoid clonking the fences if I can. Overdriven there ever so slightly. Oh god, the transit is still right behind. I don't want to hit the fences, because the fences do actually really slow down your car. Transit is immense compared to the rest of the AIs. The rest of the AIs are struggling. I'm impressed how well they are dealing with what is an incredibly nasty course. I was expecting them to get confused, get stuck, but no, they are doing pretty well at figuring out how to get around here competently. Yeah, there's a couple of cars. Again, listen, this Viper is very quick in S1 class off-roading. Very quick indeed. And that transit is giving me a real run. It's not quite as fast through there. They're not quite able to take the same lines through all of that section. Down here, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. I mean, it's kind of this horrible wet sand that we are feeding the cars through. Still got grip, still got power to spare. Now we pull away as we get through the twisty, narrow section on the rest of it. They do well for most of it. Big jump, if anything, a little bit too bigger a jump for the Viper. We will gather that one back up and then run towards the finish line. I really like that stage. I really like that stage. We beat the Transit, the TTs. There were many of them. There were many of them indeed. Yeah, not quite able. They can keep up for 3/4 of it, but to the end, they cannot quite manage that. Well, I'm going to build some more. I'm going to build some more rally stages. I'm going to build some more racetracks. I wanted to have a sand-based circuit. That one really does fit the bill for using that area. It's nasty. It's technical. It's twisty, but it's good fun and a good challenge of a rally car, of an off-road vehicle. I believe how it works, not 100% sure, but I believe if you either have me as a friend or follow me on Xbox, if you want to have a go with this circuit, when we eventually get out of here, I'll show you. When you look for an event, unfortunately, why have we ended up over here? I don't quite know why I've ended up over there. I need to be over here. It's nowhere near where we even... I can understand if it was on the road outside the castle where we finished, but never mind. Yeah, if you want to have a go with this map, there is a tab that you can go to find races. I don't think there is a way to search up game tags, so you would have to follow me on Xbox if you want to have a go with it. If you go to enter event, if you were to go... So if I go now solo, if you go custom events and go to friends and followed... If you have me followed on Xbox, my event should, hopefully, appear there. And that's our little course. So, yeah, if you want to have a go, do check it out. I'm going to play around, build some more circuits, probably do some more videos on them, decide, and then we may well see a rally car build series in the very near future. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.